What's up, college baseball fans? Welcome to the Omaha College World Series edition of the 11.7 podcast. I am here in South Carolina while Jack is on the road somewhere between Charleston and Omaha, Nebraska. Dimitri is in Italy. We're all over the place. But whoa, how'd you do that?
I don't know. I know this is a podcast, so for those listening at home, fireworks just went off around me. Those are the kind of vibes we're looking for, folks. That was cool.
That was cool. But anyways, we're here, all different parts of the world, to bring you the Omaha preview, first round preview, talk about each game, each matchup. We will also pick our winners, who we think is going to win the College World Series. We might look at some odds for single game lines to win each side of the bracket, to win Omaha. We'll do all that. But it should be a pretty quick and easy episode here. Shooting for around 30 minutes. That's the goal. So before we get started and talking about matchups, Jack, what's the experience been like over the last 24 hours that you've been on the road in the Teal Ninja, the RV you're bringing out to Omaha?
Man, I gotta tell you, I think I'm already addicted to like van life. I see why people get lost out on the roads. It's been awesome. I've met some cool people. Slept in some hotel parking lots. I'm in Missouri right now. I just went to a gas station that had a full blown raffle for a lawnmower that you saw like in the Waterboy. That was a cool experience. But other than that, man, beyond excited. Laying the groundwork for 11.7 to not only come back next year, but to dominate it and just absolutely crush. The one thing that I have been thinking about, and boys, this is dream, right? Let's manifest it. As I've gone out to Omaha, there's too many people to thank, whether it be Sucker Punch, whether it be Home Field Apparel, our awesome sponsor, Chinook Seeds, the whole kit and caboodle. But I noticed that someone on Twitter was like, hey, I didn't know 11.7 was headquartered out of Charleston. Like, let's go get a beer. I saw that. Some people were like, I didn't know you guys were. Well, since we are painted all across the world, quite literally right now. Boys, my dream is to not only make Omaha a reunion for us every year where we go out and just murder the game. I want to get a Rob Dyrdek-esque fantasy factory for 11.7. I know, Ben, your viral tweet about freaking taking beeps and just like hanging out with the boys went nuts. So how cool would that be at our fantasy factory if we had that in the backyard? I'm manifesting it. I know that doesn't really have much to do with the trip, but all going on in the think tank right now.
All we have to do is just build it. People will come. Just get like an abandoned field, abandoned baseball field somewhere. Have
Let's
a
go to
shed be our
Rosenblatt.
offices. It would be a great time. That's what I'm saying.
Let's just take
Yeah,
over
right.
Rosenblatt.
Yeah, we'll just take over Rosenblatt. Yep. Build from
You're
the ground
so
up over there. That'd be good. Take some visits to the Omaha Zoo as well. But yeah, that tweet did go viral, and that was something that Jack and I talked about back in Hoover. We were sitting down in
so
Hoover. We
sick.
are like, I would do anything just to go shag some fly balls right now.
That's it. It's it.
And
Dude, I literally think it's better than the game. That shagging fly
100%.
balls and taking beat
Wait.
is so much better than the game.
That's the only thing I miss is taking batting practice, shagging fly balls, maybe take a little in and out, double cuts. All that's so fun to me. The games, I
Time
don't
out.
miss as much.
You guys miss shagging?
Oh,
Oh.
more than anything.
Dude, shagging is the worst.
Dude,
What
my
kind of
last year at
person are
Mason,
you, dude?
I know
What are
my
your
last year at
morals in
Mason,
life?
my coach would literally let me take my cleats off and I would go shag fly balls, toes in the turf, and go and run around the outfield. There's not a better, like, it was the best.
Shagging fly ball is such a chore. It is the biggest chore ever.
So wait, you
Maybe
don't like
putting a pitcher
tracking
and
fly
everyone
balls
standing out there.
over the shoulder?
No, dude. No, dude. I got to do the bucket. I got to do shag fly ball. I got to go to the warning track and pick up the 3 ground balls that went down the line. Like, dude, get out of here.
You're the
You're
worst
not,
kind of person.
you're not shagging right. What are you doing?
You're the Scrooge of
I
shagging,
mean,
dude.
I'm a pitcher. I got to just go stand near the track.
You're the
pick the
shagging
ball up the
Scrooge.
track.
That's what you are.
Hey, Jack, I want to. Can we get a little tour for the people of the RV where you're
Yeah.
sitting?
Yeah, dude. All right. So, 22 footer. She's a beautiful beast. The Teal Ninja is. So, obviously, this is my cockpit. This is where I'm
Great
sleeping
cockpit.
at night. Great
Mhm.
cockpit. This is where we're sleeping. Got a
Oh,
nice
I
little
love-
TV.
Dude,
Is that a
looks comfy.
Pikachu up there?
Yeah. Pikachu and I have been real tight.
Yeah.
Gotta catch
Hey,
them all.
shout out
Um,
Pikachu.
Shout out Pikachu. We got a nice little sink. Let's see where else we got.
Dude, that's a sweet. That's a super nice RV.
Where are you
Sleeps
keeping
two
them
back
sucker
here.
punches at?
Ooh, bubble,
Wait,
bubble.
so you're sleeping?
Here's the
You're
deal.
sleeping in the guest bed and not the master bed.
Yeah. Master bed's awesome. It actually slides out. It is so hot back here. It's insane. So I've got my nice little DeWalt fan. I'm up here. But when I woke up this morning, I thought to myself, man, my head kind of hurts. Wasn't sweating enough to really freak out. But I'll tell you one thing. The company that saved me, these guys. I don't know are you guys pickle juice fans?
Oh yeah,
Dude,
pickle
people need to
juice snow
educate
cones are the
themselves.
best.
Ben, you know who part of?
Wait. Hold on. Pickle juice snow cones?
Yeah, man.
No.
Yep, I said what I said.
I was gonna educate the people. Like all the cool kids are drinking it these days. Carlos Alcaraz, little tennis talk today. They're delicious, but they do. I mean, the most electrolytes in any sports drink. They got me right, man.
Straight
Ben,
to the dome.
Do you remember Chesney Young?
Yeah, his little brother Cash played at
He
Kennesaw
does
State.
sucker punch. He does sucker
Yeah.
punch.
Shout out Cash Young.
Cash and Jack Ruby, man.
His brother played with my brother growing up.
No way. Yeah, they're awesome,
Yeah.
man. Those dudes are doing some really cool stuff, and I've been really lucky to be a part of kind of like their little mission,
cool.
bring it to life. But
shout out Sucker Punch.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah. Anyways, so like kind of the plan this week for Jack, he'll be there all 11 days. He will be flops on the ground, sweating his balls off there in the Omaha heat. The original plan was for me to come out with Jack and this and that. I don't know if I broke the news yet on the pod, but 2 weeks ago I started what I think is my dream job, and it's working for Synergy Baseball. It's a camera technology company that 90% of Division I baseball teams have. And so if you're like a casual college baseball fan or just somebody that is tuning in for the World Series, Synergy Baseball is a big deal, and they're growing like crazy. They brought me on to be in charge of D1 baseball sales. So I am interacting daily with head coaches, dobos, pitching coaches. It doesn't matter. So tons of college baseball coaches that I get to talk to on a daily basis and make sure that their camera setups are right, making sure that everything's being logged in, teaching them how to do stuff, and also just providing them everything Synergy has to offer. So I didn't want to take off the first, or I guess the second week that I got brought on, got hired there. I thought it would be disrespectful to the company. And so I put these plans to go to Omaha away for a little bit. I might show up next week. It is still in the cards. I want to make sure I get that approved, but Synergy will be there in Omaha already. So I might meet some coworkers. That might
Just
be
write it off. Write it off of the business trip. You're just going up there to meet a couple coaches. It's a business trip.
Yeah, look, if this was a job I didn't care about, I would go 100%. This is really a job that like I love, and I think I can see myself doing it for the next 30 years until I retire. That's kind of my plan. So sometimes when you turn 29, you feel like you need to grow up a little bit and just take work a little bit more seriously. So I will not be in Omaha this first week, possibly for the finals. I'm looking at making a trip out there and celebrating with Jack. But anyways, as we all know, like Jack's the superstar now that he's gone. If you're on the YouTube, you can see his internet cut out, but he should be back here in a second. But he's the guy that everybody wants to see, right? Like he's the pencil guy. It was amazing. Like when we were in Hoover, he was turning heads. People were really, really wanting to meet Jack and have him share their stories. And he's done good content for us. So we're sending him out there. He's got the Teal Ninja, his 22-foot RV, and his plan is to park it just in the parking lot. No electricity, no water. He's just going to raw dog it, man. And that's what he does best. Now that he's back, add him back in. We can stop saying good things about him. But yeah, so here's the plan, boys. We got we're 10 minutes into this pod. We got to be done in about 25 to 30 minutes. So let's go ahead and get started with the first round matchups here in Omaha. It starts Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. So that's 1 p.m. Central. And it's Virginia against North Carolina. battle of two of the best ACC teams this year. Obviously, there's 4 ACC teams in the tournament and 4 SEC teams in the tournament. First time ever. And, man, I think obviously winning game 1 in any kind of tournament bracket is important. But in my opinion, if you lose game 1 of the College World Series, it's going to be tough for anybody to battle through that loser's bracket. It's a double elimination style tournament, but every team is deep. Like there is no Oral Roberts here that's not very deep. There is no teams out there that lucked in by without pitching is what I'm saying. Like they all have loaded pitching staff. So Virginia, North Carolina, 1 p.m. Central tomorrow on Friday. And then the night game is Florida State against Tennessee. That Florida State Tennessee game might be the most important game of the first round. Is Jack trying to join again? Okay, well, it's all right. So Dimitri, you and I can just talk about it until Jack gets his Wi-Fi.
I have it open. So whenever he joins, I'll plug him in. Perfect.
So what are your initial thoughts here? Virginia, North Carolina. They did play this year in the regular season. In fact, I just blanked on who lost or who won that series.
Virginia won the series.
I thought I had it memorized. You said Virginia won the series. I'm going to take a look at it again. I looked at all this stuff before.
Carolina lost 2 out of 3 at Virginia in Charlottesville. So they blew. It was a high scoring game 1, 7-2 game 2, and then Carolina beat them on Sunday. So
yeah, that was back April 4th. So a little like 2.5 months ago almost. They played at Virginia. Virginia won 14-11 Thursday, and then they won 7-2 on Friday, and then North Carolina came back and won 12-7 game 3. Look, I don't think any of that matters, right? Like that was over 2 months ago. These teams were playing different baseball back then. Look, for me, it comes down to like, can North Carolina hold this scrappy? And maybe scrappy is not the right word, but just this very consistent veteran-led Virginia lineup. Like, can they hold them to less than 5 runs?
I think they're relentless, right? Like it's 1 through 9. They can beat you in a different way. It's a different dude every night. So it comes down to like, is Pence that guy out of the back end like he has been all postseason? Like I think he's a stopper that can go eat up innings and get you 3 to 3rd and go get the last out. And he's one of those dudes to me that almost looks like he's going to throw in every game for North Carolina this year after the season.
I think for me the biggest key is, can North Carolina keep the magic going outside of Bosch-Hammer Stadium? Like I just feel like this team is thriving off that Carolina crowd for the last 2 weekends in the regional and the super regional. They're 9-8 on the road. They're 1-3 neutral site this year. So 10-11 outside of the Bosch. Not great, boys.
Wow, 10-11 outside of the Bosch. Yeah, that's not great. And both of these teams have not left home yet, like in the postseason. And they've all taken care of business at home too. But look, for me, at least my philosophy when you get to Omaha is like the field does matter, right? And the dimensions do matter. And it looks like, at least in my weather eye, meteorology eye, or whatever you want to call it, I forget the word. But it looks like the wind's going to be blowing in most of the week. And if I have the directions correctly. Like who's going to be the team that doesn't rely on the long ball? Like who can put the ball on the ground? Like who can make things happen and play good defense, right?
I think Charles Schwab faces north, right? So you're hitting north.
So this is all right. This is my question.
Northeast.
When the wind direction says like from east to, or when it says blowing like 10 miles an hour from the west or whatever it is, does that mean it's coming from the west or it's going to the west? When you're reading wind direction on the weather.
10W.
Yeah.
Ben, we talked about this 2 years ago.
I don't know if I ever got an answer.
I don't remember. No.
Is it coming from the west or is it blowing towards the west?
When weather says wind.
Because that plays a factor.
Should we do for all of our investors out there? Should I do a morning check-in? Like, hey
Yeah,
guys,
I need
just
you to
wanted
go
you to
stand
know,
next to the flags and tell me
Hey,
which direction it's blowing.
flagpole every day. Hey, the wind's blowing me in the face. Oh, the wind's blowing me in the back of the head. Take that
are you
information
ready?
as you will.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
When wind is blowing from the north to the south, it is a north wind.
That is
Coming from the north. Okay. Because and I guess for everybody that's wondering like why we're talking about wind so much, it plays such a huge factor at Charles Schwab Field. It always has. When it's like a cold front coming in, that's when it blows out. And when it's blowing out, like it plays very, very small. Like 'cause you'll have
So that's the
30-mile-an-hour
south wind.
gusts. But when it's like a warm front or whatever you want to call it, it blows straight in and balls get knocked down 30 feet short of the fence. So yeah, like I think wind factor is going to play a big part of like potentially teams' chances to win, right? Like
Hey, let me
I would
ask you
say if
this.
it was blowing in, it would favor Virginia a little bit more, just because I think they have more ways to beat you um, offensively rather than
Well,
living
who,
and dying by the long ball. Not that North Carolina lives and dies by the long ball. I think that in the postseason, a lot of their runs have come from walk, 3-run bomb.
yeah. Who in this tournament do you think like that will hurt most? I think there's been a lot of conversation about how hey Charles Schwab Field plays different. Who do you think that hurts most in this final eight? Right, like we've decided these are probably 8 of the 10 best teams in the country, no doubt about it. We got a great field, but like whose game is going to be impacted the most? Do you think on the ballpark?
That's a good question. Look, I think the stereotype answer there is that people are like, "Oh, Tennessee leads the country in home runs, like they're going to be hurt the most." You have to remember a lot of Tennessee's home runs are no doubters. Like they're not
Yeah.
wall scrapers. Same thing with Florida. Florida hits a ton of home runs, but like Cags hits a ball 450 feet. Like that's going to be a homer no matter what. You might have to look at a team that maybe hits homers, but or extra base hits, doubles in the gap, somebody that doesn't have quite the raw power that those might turn into flyouts.
Right.
Do you guys really think in today's game with the bat and the ball, I don't think it matters anymore. I think Omaha is going to play like any other field. A home
I
run
don't
is a
know.
home run. I don't think it's I don't think it can hold up to that graveyard reputation anymore.
Well, I mean, are you basing that off of what was going down in the early 2010s? Because that's different.
Yeah.
I mean,
There was just no home runs in 2012.
no, there was no home run. But I mean, home run are going to be hit at I think at a normal rate, maybe a hair less, but overall, I think it's going to be playing the same.
Yeah, it'll be playing the same as always, but compared to all 8 of these teams' home fields, Charles Schwab Field's bigger than all of them.
The gaps. I don't think what is dead center Charles Schwab? 400? 405?
I think it says 390, right? Or 405 or something. I don't remember.
Well,
Probably
so what's the difference between, I mean, the Bosch, Virginia, all those places are 395 to 405. So that's the same.
Well, it's the gap.
At Charles Schwab are big.
Yeah.
So anyway, hey, southwest winds on Sunday. That is what they need. That means the wind is blowing out.
Yeah, it would be blowing out to.
I mean, southwest. So it's blowing from the southwest to the northeast.
So it'd be blowing out to right, like right
blowing
center.
out to right center field.
Would love that.
All right, I'm obsessed with this. I'm obsessed with. Leave this up. Monday blowing from the south, 17 miles an hour. Dude, the wind's gonna be blowing out then. So this was the same thing I pulled up, but I was thinking it was blowing to the south.
No,
and I knew it faced north, so I'm like, looks like it's gonna be blowing in. So it's gonna be blowing out most of the week, according to this.
We love it. We love that. Yeah, the boys are gonna be buzzing. I don't know, man. When we look at this 8, like I know that everyone's really excited about the Tennessee Florida State matchup, and rightfully so. Like, could Jamie Arnold stifle the number 1 team in the country? I don't know if I see it. I just think that's gonna be really highly anticipated. That's NC State first game. I feel like is gonna tell us everything we need to know about the Wolfpack, right? Like I think they're gonna be kind of Omaha's team this run. My eyes are on that matchup. I know that every game's going to be great. And I think Florida is staged to maybe make a big run with like a beat up A&M team. But to me, that NC State opening round game has kind of got my eye more than maybe the rest. Where kind of y'all said that?
Wait, guy, we have it all wrong. We have it all wrong. So Charles Schwab Field, home plate to center field, is to the southeast. This is south. Yep.
I'm confused. Oh, you're saying that
This
is
north.
sitting.
This is north.
So we had it backwards.
My brain hurts.
So it's facing southeast.
Dude, I trusted you, and maybe I've heard this in the past, but when you said it faces the north, I was like, yeah, you're right.
No, because I was thinking Epley Airfield. I remember coming from Epley Airfield, and you see the stadium, so I was thinking that. No, but it faces southeast.
So the wind's going to be blowing straight in all week.
Straight in.
So let's go back to the weather forecast.
Under.
Oh yeah, we're screwed. Bet the under in every game.
East, so it's coming from the east. Yep, wind's coming in from left field there, southeast. So the wind is coming literally straight in from center field on Saturday. Sunday, the crosswind from right field. Monday is a crosswind from the right field foul pole. Tuesday is a crosswind from the right field foul pole. Wednesday is straight from center field. Thursday is right field. Yeah. This is but the wind, I mean, dude, it's 16 miles an hour a lot. I feel like it's a lot. It's a pretty strong wind.
Yeah, I mean, you feel it, right? Like, I don't know how much it affects a baseball, but you got to think at least 10 to 15 feet, right?
No doubt.
I don't know, boys. We might be taking a lot of unders. So with that information, look, the lines right now, Virginia plus 105, North Carolina minus 135. Like, North Carolina, slight favorite. I think you have a lot of value there with Virginia plus 105, but like in my head, like this is a coin flip type of game. And I say it because it's the type of game one of Omaha. Teams are going to be fired up, amped up to play. There might be a couple mistakes early on that could result in a crooked number. And like it might be a 3-2 game, and all 3 runs were scored in the second inning on a booted ball to shortstop. So take your pick. I trust Virginia's lineup more. I think there's way less holes in the lineup. But I think I trust North Carolina's star power and bullpen more, if that makes sense. So Virginia's got to get to him early.
Would you consider Gallagher a star power player?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Budding for sure. Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, I think that LSU series for me became a superstar. Like some of the plays he made defensively were so stupid. Then you look at how they hit him in the 7-hole all year, and he just raved. But defensively, to play like that at that level, exit velos of 105 right at him. Yeah, that's a good question though. But yeah, he's a star.
You know what else? I don't consider freshmen anymore at this point in the season. They're 60 plus games in. They're not freshmen anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this: Virginia has way more Omaha experience than North Carolina.
Yeah. Does Virginia have more Omaha experience? Yeah, of course they do.
Sure. Yeah, they're
they've made it 3 times in like the last 4 years.
Of course they do. Give me the Cavaliers over.
I think that's what I'm saying. Virginia plus 105 feels like the right move here. Maybe I'm wrong, but they feel like the move. But let's move it to the next game here. Florida State, Tennessee.
What's Jack pick?
Oh yeah, Jack, what's your pick?
Are we taking each game? I'll take North Carolina. I think those young. I think you're right. I think that sometimes being so young and so inexperienced plays to your advantage. You almost roll into the ballpark and like don't even know to get nervous. So I'll take the young youth. I think the Caro and Pence are dominant together.
Here's one more question for you guys before we move to the next one. Be quick. So we saw in the Georgia NC State series, Charlie Condon didn't show up. Basically didn't show up until the 24th hour of the Super Regional. And I wouldn't even consider that showing up. But anyway, I feel like Vance Honeycutt, I don't think that happened. Because I think defensively, he stays in the game so much where I feel like he can't fall asleep at the plate. That makes sense.
Yeah, well, look, I think I see where your head's at, but I'm going to disagree a little bit. Like Vance Honeycutt's already gone through his like slump this year or whatever. Charlie Condon never went through a slump or like had to deal with him
Honeycutt went
getting
to a
out.
slump all last year, I believe, most of the
Uh,
year.
Honeycutt, yeah, he didn't play great last year, but I'm talking about this year. There was points like where he's like hot, cold, hot. Like he's just hot right now. He's seeing the ball well. There was a lot of swing and miss in the middle months of the season from him, but yeah, he was laying off those pitches and punishing strikes. Like he was ready to hit off-speed pitches. So yeah, he just might be seeing the ball really well. And talk about somebody that's made his signing bonus almost double what I think it probably would have been if his season ended. I mean, he's on fire, but it's not just him. Like he's getting all the credit, but like Anthony D'Onofrio has been really good. Casey Cook's been really good. Like
But I think Carolina's offense really runs through Honeycutt. Like Georgia's offense can operate without Condon. I think Carolina needs Honeycutt more than Georgia needed Condon. It's just like a take I'm kind of putting out there.
Hey, can I say this before we move on? Best moment of the year is we were talking to some big league scouts in Chapel Hill. And Ben was like, "Yeah, I think Vance Honeycutt's
yeah.
unbelievable player." But like it's just sometimes these like North Carolina superstars, like they aren't superstars at the next level. They're journeymen, but they're not superstars. Homer, like almost
right in my face, right in my face.
All right. Next one.
But anyways, next game here we got Florida State against Tennessee. Florida State plus 130. It sounds like they're throwing Jamie Arnold. Hasn't been announced yet. And then Tennessee minus 166. I don't think Tennessee has announced the starting pitcher either.
I think they're going to do kind of what they've done in game one. Like I think it's going to be Chris Thamos, the California grad transfer, and then because they love the tunnel, they've been going to the Causey stud, the side armor that transferred from Jacksonville State. I think in my opinion, I bet they go Thamos to Causey again and don't mess with it. Allow Beam to stay on the same day rest, and he'll throw in game two.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like for me in this game, it's both of these offenses, as we've seen, are explosive, right? Like they put up runs in bunches, and star power, first round talent on both sides. Like this is the most loaded game as far as I don't. Some can argue Florida Texas A&M has star power too, like heavy first round people, but we're talking like Cam Smith, James Tibbs the third, who put on an absolute show in the Super Regional versus like Christian Moore, Blake Burke, Billy Amick,
Jamie Farrer. That guy,
Jamie Farrer, yeah, like they all rake. I think for me, the way I look at this game, I'm almost leaning Florida State game one, and that's probably great news to Tennessee fans. But it's almost like Jamie Arnold had his hiccup start last week against UConn. Like now he gets to flush it, reset, and he gets to go be the dude against the number one team in the country. Like this is the matchup that everybody wants to see, right? And there have been times where Tennessee has struggled against lefties this year. Not saying that's going to play any factor because it's a completely different game, but I'm almost talking myself into Florida State game one. And like this is a must-win game one for Florida State. I think if they lose the game one, like there's no way they're climbing their way out of this losers bracket. Tennessee could theoretically like lose game one and fight through the losers bracket and win it, but I think it just makes it way tougher for Florida State. So I don't know, man. I think this game's gonna be filled with big moments. I'm glad it's the night game. Which one of those like first round picks is gonna step up and go ballistic?
So what's your pick?
I'm leaning Florida State plus 130. Like they have
odds guy.
I think they have a little bit of an edge. Link Jarrett, Tony Vitello, like dude, two really good coaches. Vitello, Link Jarrett, like
I think I'm going Florida State here. I think Tennessee. I don't know. I mean, I really like Tennessee. I think they're really, really good. I think Florida State's just playing impeccable baseball right now. I just think they're playing so well. They're punch for punch. I mean, UConn scored 3. Florida State answered every single time they were answering. And it's like one of those things where, like, when you're doing that kind of stuff, it just gives me a little more confidence. And I think, I'm going Florida State here. I'm going to ride with Jamie Arnold, and I think that lineup is going to be a problem all week in Hoover.
I'll say this, man. To me, Florida State scored a ton on the long ball. So I know our meteorologist segment probably bored some people, but that's going to be a huge piece in this ball game. I'd also like to add that this is going to be the dumbest thing that I've ever said. Must win, can't lose type deals, right? It's Omaha. Everything's a must win. But to me, Ben, you kind of hit the nail on the head in the idea that, like, if Tennessee loses, right, they got enough depth in the mound to make a run even through the consolation bracket. Becomes existentially more difficult, but they could. I think if Florida State loses, they're done. They could go 2-2. Like, they don't have enough to come out of the losers bracket. With that being said, I don't know if we're doing this at the end of this pod. To me, and this is my little preview for it, Tennessee wins this. They break the curse, the number one national seed to win it all. To me, this is Tennessee. I really like. They are just oozing confidence right now, and I kind of love that they lost the game to Evansville. Right? It's like a little chink in the arm. Hey, they're human. They're human, Rock. To me, it shows you everything they need to know about them. That they were resilient. They bounced back. They put up another freaking 2-touchdown performance. This is going to be such an exciting matchup. But I'll take the Vols.
This was the toughest game to pick for me, because you just like, it's college baseball, right? If one of your relievers that has been nails all year just decides to like not throw strikes for 3 batters, it changes the whole inning, which could change the whole game. And like, you don't know who that's going to be. That's why, dude, I think that was a coin flip as well. I think as far as betting purposes go, you get a lot of value plus 130 with probably the first pitcher taken next year in the draft on the mound. But I don't know, man. Like, and then Tennessee also has like this reputation of like getting to Omaha and not being able to win. Like, their record in Omaha the last 3 appearances is not good.
You think so? You think Arnold is in that conversation for 2025 for first pitcher?
Yeah.
Do you not have him?
I have not. I have not been keeping up. I have not been keeping up with that. I had no idea that he was.
I think he'll be the first pitcher taken next year.
Interesting. I was not keeping up with the draft stuff, but interesting.
Yeah, there's a few names you can float out there, but there's no Hagen Smith or Chase Burns or Paul Skeens and Rhett Louders next year. But anyways, that's besides the point.
Jack, so you're taking Tenor.
No. Jack's taking Tennessee. I'll take Florida State. Like, man, that's so stupid of me to pick against Tennessee, but whatever.
It's more fun that way, anyway.
NC State, Kentucky, boys.
This was the hardest pick. Yeah.
So, yeah, yes and no, right? Like, this is a very, very tough thing, very tough decision, right? NC State is going to be undoubtedly America's team this week. You can just feel it on social media. You can feel it like on TV and everything right now. People want redemption for 2021. But like, Kentucky also has this, hey, it's our first time here. Like, our fan base is going to show up. They're already there. They're excited. And dude, they kind of feel like a magical team this year, right? NC State plus 114, Kentucky minus 145. I wouldn't bet this game, but Trey Poozer's going to be on the mound. He's been lights out. It's going to be Trey Poozer versus Sam Heifel. And like, we saw Sam Heifel pitch in 2021 in this. And he was awesome. Yeah, he was awesome. He beat Stanford, I believe, as a freshman in game 1. I don't know, man. I think for me, I'm trusting a team with the bullpen that NC State has to win game 1. Do they win the whole bracket? We'll see. They got to get innings out of their starting pitchers. Like, you can't just keep going to the same guys. I guess you could, Coastal Carolina 2016 style, but most of the time your bullpen's going to get worn out in the Omaha Heat playing every other day. I'm going NC State plus 114. I'll take another underdog. Why not? But Trey Poozer's been really freaking good, man. And since Jack did his jersey swap with him, he's 2-0 with like a 0 ERA.
You don't actually hate questions. there's a myth running around. I don't know who came up with it, but the rumor is that you didn't keep the jersey.
That's not true. I'm wearing it to the game on Saturday.
Let's go! I just made that rumor up.
I definitely didn't keep the jersey. I don't have that much.
Give me Kentucky. Give me Kentucky. Their style of play fits Omaha perfectly.
It does,
Just
dude.
say
It really
that home
does.
runs are going to play. I think home runs are going to be just as normal, but I think their style of play, big foul territory ground, big backstop, a lot of space. Love Kentucky in this environment.
The thing with Kentucky, though, and I had this written down. I haven't even looked at my notes yet on this show, but Kentucky's not going to be able to run like they want. Like Kozart behind the dish is really, really good, and they hold runners on really well. NC State has held runners really well this year, so Kentucky's going to have to get a little bit fancy with how to move runners. But look, it's crazy to me to see Kentucky minus 145 here. In fact, like I thought this line would be flipped. I thought NC State would be favorites.
Really?
Which I would probably take Kentucky if it was the other way around with the value, but I don't know. Jack, you could probably convince me to go one way or the other. What are you thinking?
Dude, this was the hardest pick on the board for me. You guys know I'm beyond biased. NC State gave me the opportunity to broadcast like ACC baseball for the first time. And then on top of that, like Kentucky's our homies, right? Baseball purposes, like how do you bet against Trey Poozer right now? Like he legitimately throws a bowling ball sinker. I think we're in a really interesting position where I think Kentucky's offense plays best to this ballpark than anyone in the field, in my opinion. Like between Ryan Waldschmidt and Ryan Nichols, like this is such a complete offense that I really think plays well here. I think Nicky Lopez is going to be one of those guys that like Omaha and the national media completely fall in love with the blue stash and like it's going to be everywhere. But to me, every year it comes down.
Wait,
every year.
Do you know what his name is? Do you know what Nicky Lopez's name is?
Is it not Nicky? It's Nicholas Lopez, right?
Nicholas Dimitri Lopez, but on Instagram he goes by Dimitri Lopez.
Yeah. He was the guy that I kind of fell in love with. Where it was like this idea. I was so curious how coaches went about the transfer portal. Like it's a guy that like didn't have a great year at Southern Cal last year. He hit like 275. A good year for me. I was a career 238 hitter, but like this guy hit like 400 this year in the SEC. So there are just so many storylines. But at the end of the day, like it's so difficult for me to think that the team with the bullpen doesn't get it done. And the best bullpen, in my opinion, the entire field of 8 is NC State. With that being said, I think Trey Poozer's maybe one, if not two, ready for this, the second best, first best arm in the entire field. So it's like starter versus pen, mesh, what do you got? So I planned for this. Does anybody have a coin? Because I'm actually going to flip a coin for this pick.
In fact, I might. Give me a second.
I have one. I got ready for this.
I think this Kentucky is going to make some noise this week.
All right. Heads is Kentucky. Tails is NC State. And I want
you want to do something better? Wait, do you want to do something better?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Do it, Ben. Do it,
yes.
Ben. Do it, Ben. You showed me the night we did for Omaha. Do it, Ben.
All right. Let me share my screen.
You've never seen this website, Jack?
Not until we did Club Omaha. It was sick.
It's the best website.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to do a 30-second race.
Here we go.
Wait, let me update. If for all the podcast listeners, I just pulled up a horse race names.
And can I also say this to other podcast listeners as you type that in? You guys know how my phone went out earlier in the episode?
Yeah.
You gotta go Big Blue Nation and Pack 9. Come on. That's what a horse name is.
All right, here we go. NC State, the 2 horse. All white. Kentucky, the 1 horse on the bottom of the screen. 30-second race. They are wearing brown. Ready, set, go. NC State out still. 10 seconds in. Half a horse.
Come on, Brown.
Straight away. There's no turns at this Kentucky Derby.
Come on, Big Blue. Come on,
I know. Kentucky down the final stretch. 10 seconds until we've got a winner.
And NC State's got a lead going 5 seconds left. 4, 3. Oh, NC State pulled away by 3.
It's the Kentucky Derby, but it didn't favor the Cats. Give us the Pack. That is electric.
All right. We should have just made all our picks based off that. That was fun.
Wait,
Oh, the best.
so Jack, you're going with Kentucky or NC State?
No, NC State just won. That's what I'm taking State.
NC State. And then the last game here, we got to run here pretty soon. But Florida at Tech, or not at Texas. Florida's
Hey,
a
Jack,
visiting
how hot are
team.
you right
A&M's a home team. Florida plus 150. A&M, the biggest favorite, minus 195. A&M's
Yeah.
got some injuries now. Sadeo, or however you pronounce his last name, number 2 starter, out, it looks like. And obviously Braden Montgomery out for the rest of the season, broken ankle. Hopefully he heals and recovers. Friend of the program, but A&M's offense was unbelievable at home in that super regional. They get to replace Braden Montgomery with Jeff Kent's son. Not fair. Hits a go-ahead grand slam. That was cool. But anyways, Florida, kind of team of destiny vibes. It sucks to say, but they are. Like, when I say it sucks to say, not because I hate Florida, but because usually you want to have like a fun team that's never been here before, never won it, be the team of destiny. But here Florida is. We've tried to kill them off. College baseball has tried to kill them off like 5 times over the last 3 months. They're not good enough to be in. They barely finished above 500. They got smacked by Oklahoma State in that winner's bracket game. They come back and win 3 straight. Like, Florida just feels like the team of destiny. And if they win the whole thing, it just totally kills the regular season forever. Teams will just stop caring about the regular season. But here we are. They're facing up against Jim Schlossnagle, who has so much Omaha experience, and so does Kevin O'Sullivan of Florida. In fact, I think these two coaches have the most Omaha experience combined, if I'm not mistaken. I know O'Connor's close with Virginia. Vitello's getting up there now. He's been quite a few times.
Do you know that Sully is the 9-0 Super Regional?
That's scary.
So he's been in Omaha every time he makes it through a regional.
Wow. But yeah, Florida won the whole thing in 2017 over LSU. Like, how much is Brandon Neely going to have to pitch game 1? Probably a lot.
Here is the kicker, boys. Nobody's talking about this because everyone forgot. What was Florida known for this year?
Offense. Home runs.
Wrong. What was everyone talking about this year with Florida? What could they not do?
Losing.
They couldn't pitch.
They didn't win. They didn't win.
They can't win in the midweek. And what do you have to do in Omaha? You got to play during the week.
It's true. It's true.
That's true.
They play Saturday, Saturday. They don't play again until Monday. It's scary hours for the Florida Gators. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
You're right. Nobody is talking about that.
Nobody's talking about that. Florida.
So you think it's more of a day of a week? It's a day of the week curse rather than just them using all their pitching Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then using like a no-name guy in the midweek. You think it's the actual days?
Well, no-name guy's going to have to do something in Omaha for them to win it all.
Their body clocks are turned off during the midweek.
Let me tell you this, Dimitri, you said it earlier in this broadcast. Florida's freshmen are no longer freshmen, and they haven't pitched like freshmen. They're playing a lot better this time. Here's the deal. We crapped all over them this year. They still have, in my opinion, and everyone's coming at my throat for it, the best player in the history of college baseball. And I understand that there are guys with better numbers and there are guys with more accolades. To me, no one has ever done what Cags has done in this sport before. A&M's really good. I'm going to contradict myself. I said take the team with the better bullpen. To me, I'm taking the team with the biggest unicorn. So I'll take the Gators. Straight and to the point.
The Gators definitely had the most impressive super regional win, right? Like, they didn't play a 3 seed or an Oregon. They beat Clemson at Clemson. Are they the only road team to advance? Oh, I guess NC State was a road team. They beat Georgia. But I think it's no question that Clemson was better than Georgia this year. And they have the best. Virginia beat Kansas State. North Carolina beat West Virginia. Florida State, UConn, Tennessee, Evansville, Kentucky, Oregon State. That's pretty impressive. NC State beats Georgia. That's pretty impressive. A&M beats Oregon. But, like, Florida had the best win of the super regional. I don't think that matters, but it's something to keep note. Like maybe they are playing baseball.
Nothing else matters. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the Gators can't play.
What about
Saturday,
Friday,
on the other
Saturday?
hand, I'm taking the Gators. I'm taking the Unicorn on Saturday. But
Yeah.
damn it, this just fucked up my whole entire theory. That means Jack Hagg's gonna pitch on Monday. No, yeah, Monday. And he ain't been pitching on the midweek. Damn it. You know what? They still can't play on the during the weekday. But give me Florida. Give me Florida on Saturday.
Are you kidding me? Didn't you pick A&M to win the whole thing?
Yeah.
Well, I think.
And look, if there's a team that really would be in trouble in the losers bracket for pitching, it would be A&M. Like they ain't coming out losing.
It would be Florida too.
Yeah, Florida would be done so, in my opinion. Florida's got to win game 1. Like they have to. Like they don't. Yeah.
I mean,
I almost trust Florida's pitching right now with less injuries than I do A&M's pitching.
Florida and Stillwater showed me that they can pitch, but that was the Brandon McNeely. Oh my God, why do they keep saying that? Brandon Neely show. Like that guy single-handedly saved them in that Stillwater regional with the 6th inning out of the bullpen. But I don't think Florida's got the fire. They might have the juice and the velo, but I don't think they have the skill to come through the losers bracket. But with that being said, I picked Texas A&M when Brady Montgomery was healthy. All bets are off. Everything is voided now. Give me the Gators game 1 against A&M. Who beat them at home this year?
I think even if Braden Montgomery is injured, I still love this A&M offense. I think that they're almost Kentucky-esque, but they have more star power, right? Like you look at the on-base percentages of a lot of these guys, dude, they see a lot of pitches at the plate. Like they burn through the opposing team's pitching. Like they are able to capitalize. And dude, like they have like guys hitting 6th, 7th, 8th in their lineup that are just like pure left-handed hitters, or like, you know what I mean? Like they're a really good offensive team. I like Texas A&M a lot this first game, but look, I think the winner of NC State Kentucky will probably advance out of the right side of the bracket. But like, who knows, man? It's Omaha. Like crazy things happen.
I'd like to add this. I don't know if I like how you said the winner is probably that top game. I know that I picked NC State. In my heart of hearts, I thought there was going to be a ton of parity. I picked 2 mid-majors to get to Omaha, and we came down with 6 national seeds, another number 1 seed, and then Florida, who is obviously Florida. In my heart of hearts, if I keep thinking there's going to be a bunch of chaos, at the end of the day, I could see this just being Tennessee and Kentucky just going at each other's throats. That can't you see that? I close my eyes and that's the national championship. That kind of makes sense to me. They've been the 2 best teams in the country by far all year, and 2 teams to me that have really ride or die by the identity.
Yeah, 100%. So that was our round 1 matchup preview. We will do an episode Sunday night probably after the first rounds. Or wait, let's see. We might have to do it Saturday night, huh?
Saturday night,
or after Monday night.
We can do Sat. No, we got to do Monday night.
Let's do a Monday night recap. That'll be fun. Maybe we can.
That'll be after the first eliminations and stuff.
Yeah, after the first elimination, then we'll have a good idea what the bracket's looking like and who has who available still on the mound. But before we get off here, let's make our picks. I'm sticking with my original Kentucky beats Florida State in the finals. That's what I filled out when the bracket was released. I still believe in those 2 teams. They haven't lost yet. So give me Kentucky over Florida State as my national championship.
I like it. I will. Yeah, Riz, you got it. Sorry.
When the postseason started, I went Texas A&M over Florida State in the national title series.
Stick with it.
I don't know how I feel about A&M now, but I still love Florida State. So you know what? Give me Florida State national championship for the people.
Florida State?
I like that.
Florida State national championship for the people. Could you imagine?
I like it.
Who wins? Who do you have winning?
Florida State. But hey, this is not my pick. I just want it for the people. I just want to, what's the word I'm looking for? Make it happen.
Yeah, manifest destiny,
it.
baby.
I want to manifest Florida State National Championship just so me torture myself as a Hurricane knowing one of those two teams guaranteed the national title. But I don't know, man. The right side of the bracket, I really like Kentucky too.
Yeah.
So
I'm beyond excited. I almost feel like this is going to be just such good, clean baseball week in and week out. Like, so to me, I'm here to prove a theory. All of these teams have been so awesome to all of us and for the brand, but one stood themselves aside. As Ted Lasso said, be curious, not judgmental. Only one guy gave me a shot last year in Omaha, and then the floodgates opened and everyone was involved. Only one team invited me to come out in November and interview coaches and players and do a stadium interview. And only one team was there from the jump. Rocky Top, pencil talk bump with some new lids. Go check them out. Vamo, vamo, vamo. The pencil talk bump is real. If you want to win a national championship, you invite the pencil to come out in November and you win a national championship. The prophecy will be fulfilled. Good old Rocky Top. And they beat Kentucky.
Ooh.
How Kentucky lose in the first round, and then Kentucky finds a way to get back to it.
100%. You guys agree
so
that the biggest? So we have to run here in 2 minutes, but do you guys agree that the biggest viewership championship game would be Tennessee versus Texas A&M, or would you say
A&M.
Tennessee versus NC State?
Florida.
Ooh, A&M, you get the whole state of Texas, but I think the whole state of Texas is baseball fans anyways. I think you're right. I think it's NC State.
State. SEC versus ACC, and then you also have like the 2021 redemption team.
Yeah,
I think it would be Tennessee, NC State.
You think NC State draws more viewers than the Gators?
Yeah, probably. Because you get the ACC watching.
The Gators are outdrawing A&M, that's for sure.
I don't know, man.
Maybe. I don't know.
But
I will say this. I want to say this though. I think legitimately any team wins, and like I'm really happy for them. Like I think every team's got a really fun storyline that we can be like kind of like heartwarming towards. So I'm cool with it all.
Yeah, they all do. But anyways, I gotta go. We gotta run. Appreciate everybody listening. Watch Jack's content. He's gonna be putting out in Omaha. It's gonna be spectacular.
A lot of it.
And man, it's the best time of the year. Games start 2 p.m. Friday. So if you're listening to this on Friday, watch. I promise you'll be entertained. Tell your friends. Tell your third grade teacher. Do whatever. But we appreciate everybody listening, and it's been a fun season, but it's not over yet.